Hello, friends. Let's check if everything's working. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, looks like everything's working. Great. So, hello everyone. It's been a long time since we did a live chat last time. So, happy to see you. And today we will talk about a few different topics that I want to discuss with you. Also, today I will answer your questions that you asked on Telegram group. So we will cover a lot of different things today. But first of all, I just want to start from few points. The first one is the AI is dead. Second, SaaS Messiah. And the third point, it's about interesting information that I found regarding firing developers right now. So let's start from does the AI is dead or not? So here's an interesting thing that I see. Right now on the market, I do not see anymore huge amount of new AI businesses that are fully related with ChatGPT or any other LLM. Basically, those businesses are already grab some kind of markets, and they are diving deeper into these markets. So, for example, if you're talking about services that are related to text writing, they are expanding their zones. So they diving deeper, they creating more infrastructure and services regarding this specific problem. And other competitors that are showing on the market are not so successful, unfortunately, because it's too late, first. And second, people already it's not a disappointment, but it's something when at the beginning ChatGPT was like, wow, it's a game changer, it will change the world. But right now it's like it's a tool. And when you see yet another service that is saying, okay, so we will help you write the text, and the standard questions that you will ask, why you are better than a chat GPT, and there's no answer, unfortunately. And this is the biggest issue of those services. I see tons of products on Product Hunt, but a reasonable question like what is the difference between you and chat GPT, and mostly there's no answer. And yes, of course, they're trying to answer something, but I'm sorry, but this is not the thing, and this is not an argument. It's like a founder's imagination, let's call it like that. So with the AI, as I see from my agency, from my friends and other founders, what we see right now, people are trying to create more complex and more I don't want to say more complicated, but it's not a simple tool anymore. Because basically, what are they doing? As for example, probably you heard about, I'm also talking about a lot about Grok and its infrastructure, where you can set up LangChain, your LLM, anything basically. And businesses are looking to solve old problems with a new complex and complicated AI way, which means that there are less room for simple and basic solutions. Right now, it's something. It should be something big, complicated, and legit. Otherwise, you won't have chances to success. I'm sorry. Once again, too late for these like simple things. But look, of course, you can create yet another like a solution for creating like a memes or something like that, and it may work. Hey Vlad. The thing is that right now, when you're creating something, it has to be big from day one, and this is the complexity of the AI right now. Um, of course, you can argue and say something like, but what if I want to do this, or that? Some kind of like a simple solution with ChatGPT on the background. Yes, you can. There's still room for some kind of like a specific cases in a corporate sector in your local routine, where you can create a custom solution, which can be, by the way, a foundation for your future startup, micro SaaS, you name it. So, and this probably might be the best legit option which you can use if you want to dive deeper into this specific direction. Next, SaaS Messiah. Here's an interesting thing. I see right now a huge amount of micro businesses which are allowing you to test the niche and test the market. And it's like a continuation of my previous speech about the AI. When you are testing a lot of different small things simultaneously. Because here's an interesting thing. The previous concept of the MVP requires you a standard routine, like create the idea, create a pitch deck, go to hundreds investors, raise funds, then hire developer team or find a technical partner, or if you're a technical guy, just write the code and find a, I don't know, sales co-founder or something like that. Then struggle, and maybe in 10% of the time you'll receive some success, but it's just like a 10%. It's not a lot. But then people, especially in different combinators, said that, okay, let's incentivize our founders to build something within weeks. But if you do not have enough seniority, and this is the biggest issue, if you are, let's say, junior developer, or if you're a middle developer, sometimes you're not able to ship very, very, very fast. And those funds and startup combinators requires you to build something really, really, really fast. They are pushing you. And it's produce a lot of stress. And at the end of the day, yes, you can ship one time fast, but in 6 months, you will be burnt out. And maybe you'll spend the next year or two just like doing some standard job routine without any motivation of doing something. And this is the biggest issue in that case. So MVP is the concept as it was presented by those like combinators. I don't want to say it's dead, but it's near to dead. So that's why we have the biggest opportunity right now. It's micro SaaS businesses, any kind of business where you can create a subscription or just one-time payment. I'm calling all these things micro SaaS. And here's an interesting thing. If you creating a system where you can build those micro SaaS businesses again and again and again and again, and repeat those operations until you find a success. This is the biggest opportunity, because once again, previously you have to build something big and legit, but right now market is ready to pay even for solving one specific problem at a time, and without all bells and whistles around it. And by the way, if your idea will be successful, I mean micro idea, then you can create an infrastructure around this idea and grow inside this, dive deeper into this specific market. But the most important thing that you have to keep in mind: do not rely on ideas. Rely on the system that will allow you to ship those ideas fast. Because it's not important if you are a software developer or if you are like a non-technical guy. It doesn't important at all if you're talking about micro SaaS. If you're a software developer, you can ship fast. If you are non-technical founder, you can find the developer on Upwork like that. It's pretty easy. Just have, I don't know, mostly from 20 to 40 interviews, but it would be enough for you to understand the market, how people react, and what you should basically do to achieve your results. So it's not a problem at all, to be honest. That's why just try to, if you want to achieve something within the next year or so, just build a system that will allow you to ship those like micro SaaS businesses, startups fast. This is, by the way, one of the things that I'm planning to do during the next year, because I see an opportunity for myself and of shipping those like micro businesses in different niches. And once again, I'm not gonna rely on one niche or one idea. For me, it's more importantly to create a system that will allow me to deliver a startup within a month, test it, and if it's fly, great. If it's not, whatever. I'll go to the next one. And it shouldn't burn my resources, because here's an interesting thing. When I managed to do two businesses simultaneously, one it was like IT agency, and another it was like a video streaming startup. It was super tough. I was burnt out after that for the next year. It's like your work productivity going down like insane. So that's why everything that you're doing should not eat a lot of your resources, and this is the fundamental things. Otherwise, you won't be able to repeat this process. Next topic that I want to discuss before we'll jump to Q&A, how to create such system. This is the great question. I'll answer on the Q&A. So before we jump into that, one of the interesting things and trends that I found, if you will go to Indeed, this is one of the most popular websites about hiring in the States, whatever. You see the trends of going down amount of job offers from companies. It was a huge spike after the COVID, and right now we are going to the same amount of it's like a like before COVID. So it was like a COVID, then spike, then it goes down right now. A lot of layoffs and so on. And here's an interesting thing. This means that I've seen this before. It's like repeating the same over and over again. I think you remember the crisis back in 2008 when a lot of companies closed. And the reason was because, yes, of course, because the America, but the biggest problem was it was standardized not super effective methods of delivering different results. And right now, we are, as the economy starts booming after the COVID, because US starts printing more money and give it to the banks, to the funds, to new startups hiring more devs. Especially at that time, it was ChatGPT release, so everyone is like, "Wow, AI! It's like it's new unicorn." Uh, let's open the champagne and throw the party. But right now, it comes a reality. And the beginning of my speech was about, is AI is dead? And it's not dead. It's more about like you have to build more complex and complicated system to achieve results. The same thing happening with developers. If you are a senior developer, you would be able to find the job. Don't worry about that. But if you are middle developer, or if you are a junior developer, it would be harder for you to find the job. This is normal thing. You have to invest into yourself. You have to improve your own skills, because sometimes maybe previously it was enough to, I don't know, just go to your network and say like, "Hey, John, I know you're working at Google. Do you need an employee? I want to switch the job." Or you'll call your friend Josh, and he's from Microsoft, and do the same. Then you have do this thing, and also send your resume to 100,000 different companies. Right now, it's these things are changing, and maybe you have to have a pretty good open source on GitHub to be able to receive a job offer. Or maybe you have to run a Twitter account, or maybe you have to, I don't know, maybe even run a YouTube channel. So right now, things become more complicated, even for the developers to find the job, because market reacts. It's cutting all this fluff about AI and about this like a new game changer, groundbreaking thing that will save the world, blah blah blah, whatever. But this affects just regular developers. So just keep in mind that right now on the market, you would be able to find I don't want to say partner, but good developers for an affordable price. Just keep that in mind. And this is one benefit. And for software developers, once again, if you're senior, you would be able to find the job. But if you are junior, middle, just keep in mind that you will have to learn additional skills, how to sell yourself. So this is the main option, because market will reduce this like crazy things, and they will not throw money everywhere just because they just received huge investments from banks, whatever, you name it. So this is what I want to talk with you today. And now let's go back to our questions. The first question, let's go to YouTube. Vlad asking how to build this kind of system of creating micro SaaS businesses. This is pretty simple and straightforward, I would say, because, by the way, I will talk about this one on my next video. You have to know what kind of services are repeatable from one project to another, to another, to another. And at the same time, you don't have to be obsessed with new technologies. By the way, I will propose the solution on my next video, how you can actually do that, and I will go to the market. This would be, by the way, one of my next Microsoft businesses. But the thing is that it's come from my experience and experience of my previous clients. It's like a repeatable things, such as like Stripe, subscription, payments, emails, logins, dashboards, landing pages, different CSS components, and so on. So this it's like a mini wrapper which you will reuse again and again and again and again and again. But you have to break your mindset as if you are the software developer, because I remember when we started adding a different frameworks to our team, and it was like Angular time. I think you remember it was like back in 2015 or 16. I do not remember. It was like a long time ago. And everyone was obsessed with Angular. Then it's like it's time for React. Then it's time for a Vue.js. And it's like a if you want to ship something, you have to use basically the same stack again and again and again. Otherwise, you will jump into the standard developer's trap of adding new and new and new technologies that you don't need, unfortunately. And this is the biggest issue, because developers, once again, when you are at the manager position, as I do, I see the whole picture from a helicopter view. I know if you are the developer, you may say like, okay, if we will use React or Vue.js or Next.js, this framework will have A, B, C, D, like bonuses that will boost up, blah, blah, blah. But how many developers are using, I don't know, let's say Vue.js? Is this community good enough? Would it be easy to change the developer? Is this community knows how to solve problems like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc.? So you have to keep that in mind when you're thinking about creating this kind of system, because like if you're a developer, forget about changing things again and again, like a microservices architecture, monolith. Which one is the best one? What database we should use? Because these have these advantages and that have that advantages and disadvantages, and so on and so forth. So first of all, you have to change your mindset to become an entrepreneur if you want to build and ship something fast. And then you would be able to create something like that. But once again, I will dive more in my next video, and I will also propose my solution to you. By the way, Daniel, your message was deleted by YouTube. I don't know why. Could you please repeat your question? Because I don't know, by any reason it's restricted, whatever. Okay, let's go back to Telegram and to your questions. So Alex is asking, what is the simplest way to add payment system to SaaS like Stripe, but considering cases when it does not support target country? Great question. First of all, do not try to add other different types of systems, such as like local Stripes, because I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but it's pain in the ass. It's easier to build a Stripe, and if your client do not know how to do that, you should ask them to establish company in a specific region where they would be able to create a Stripe account. So, for example, if they are living, I don't know, in Nigeria, let's say, they can create a company in Estonia or United Kingdom or United States or any other country, you name it, And then they would be able to open a Stripe account. This is the best and easiest way to be able to add Stripe, because Stripe, it's a monster, and I'm sorry, this is the best tool right now, and it's better not to use like local tools and services, because it's not so easy. It's always taking a lot of time and resources from a development point of view sometimes to implement that, because documentation is poor, API requests, it's like doing something ridiculous. Methods, not what you are expecting them to do. A lot of things are missing. Poor support, this is one of the biggest issues, and so on and so forth. How to get the first customer when the product is still noticeably raw? Just ask friends, communities to test your project. And the best way, by the way, is to avoid free products, free plans. Just say something like, okay, are you ready to pay $10, 20, 50, 100, you name it, for this project? If yes, ask them to test it. If it would be a critical issue, just make a refund. That's it. So simple. Like say, I will do the refund during the next 30 days if something goes wrong. This is the best way, because if your customers are so this is, by the way, this is the problem of Americans and Europeans. They are always excited about your project, and they will never say that your project it's like a piece of crap. They will never say something like that. It's not part of their culture. That's why your only way to test the product, and if it's something reasonable or not, is just to say like, okay, the product is in front of you. Are you ready to pay for it? And if they are ready to pay for it, then it's legit. If not, then the product is not ready. I'm sorry. Or the marketing and these things is not interested. By the way, do not forget to click like, you know how YouTube works. Next, when should I establish a company? When you will have a stream flow. So for instance, how does it work? Once again, it's not legal advice, but this is what I did in the past. I worked as a solo entrepreneur. You can be, or you just can be just a regular person who receives some kind of like an income. And if you see that your stream is growing, then it's time to establish the company. But if you're talking about Stripe, you have to establish a company from day one. So it's like a chicken and the egg issue. But if your customers are ready to pay, for example, if the PayPal is an option for you, it might be the best way for you to establish the company after you will receive a lot of positive feedback and a lot of funds that's coming to your account. In which cases should I look for investors? What are pros and cons of angel and funds, and where and when to find one? Great question. I honestly prefer to search investors only when the project is already up and running and you need to scale it. Because how it works, if you are born and raised, I don't know, in California, it's just as an example, with all respect to California, you may have a lot of different connections to angel investors and investment funds, so on and so forth. You can go to these networking parties and so on and so forth. Then you can raise like that. But if you are not from the States, then it's better for you to build something. Once again, we are going back to micro businesses, micro SaaS. It's better to build something small. My question to you: are you ready to invest $1,000 or $2,000 in your software? Build something. Is like a $1,000 or $2,000? Is this too much for you or not? Because when we're talking about investments, for example, for me, it's minimum like 100 grand. It's minimum, because less and it doesn't even, it's just wasting your time. So you should think about investors only when your project is up and running and you're planning to scale it. And you're planning to add different blocks and modules that you want to test. And you do not have enough resources, time, whatever, you name it, but you see that your project is growing and additional fuel as money will increase the speed of the growth. Then it's reasonable. It's simple as that. Are cold emails, messengers worth it? Yes, in different industries, in different not. It depends where you are. I'll give an example. One of our customers is doing like cold emails for their customers, and it's hugely depends on the industry. In some industries, it's absolutely legit thing. In some industries, just like wasting your time and money. You have to test it. Without that, you won't be able to figure out, is it a working solution for you, or is just like wasting your time and money? Simple as that. Okay. Next, what do you think about the double sprint method for pre-sale SaaS? I think it's quite difficult to put in practice. Yes, and the thing is that I do not recommend to use those things until you grow to at least like maybe 10, 15 people. Because it's way too hard to manage the bureaucracy. I'll give you an example. When my team grew to 30 developers, I thought that the best way would be to control everything through the Jira and create a lot of different tasks, track velocity. You know how it works. Developers hate Jira, but like if you're a manager, you think you have the control of everything, what's going on, and so on and so forth. But in reality, it's just like a wasting of your time and resources to bureaucracy for the bureaucracy purposes. And all these sprints, Scrum, MVP, whatever, become just useless things, because it's good as the concept, and it's good. It's like a, for instance, I will give an example. When I managed to launch my video about like a micro SaaS on YouTube that have 150,000 views, it's one of the biggest, by the way, in my channel. Before we launched it, I found a couple of mistakes, spelling mistakes, and visual mistakes. But it's like when you have this like agile sprint thing in your head, then the launch for you is more important than improving those bugs again and again and again and again. Because I've done this like review, I think 5 times, and after that, even if I see the mistake, if it's not something critical, if it's not I don't know, something in the middle of the screen, you know what I mean, it's not a problem. It's just like just launch your product and see how it goes. If it's will be successful, then you can fix that on the next iteration with the next video. So this is a real agile. When you just launching it and see how it works, how market reacts, and so on and so forth. But you should not be obsessed with agile. Of course, if you're a big corporation and you need bureaucracy, yes, you have to dive deep into that, find pros and cons, and so on and so forth. But if your project do not require like 10 developers, forget about that. You don't even need a project manager. It's just like a useless bureaucracy tool, taking a lot of time, a lot of resources. But what is the value? I'm always like ask yourself a question. if you will spend this like 5 hours by setting a Jira, can you, I don't know, write a code within 5 hours and launch it on Product Hunt? Which will give you more money? Always ask yourself, is it reasonable to spend time on this or on that? Or we can just, I don't know, create a Google document where we will describe our task, and then we will mark them with a green color if it's ready. As simple as that. Next. Hello, I'm a game developer and I want to expand into the global market. How can I find a local operational partner? Good question. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of partnerships, because it's like a marriage. You have to know the partner, and you have to know with whom you're planning to run and launch this business. Because I see a lot of madness from different combinators, in terms of you should find the partner, you should find, no, you should not, because then when you're finding the partner, do you know how you will split the business? Do you know how to properly motivate partners stay in the business and do something, and not just say like, I'll write the code for 2 months and then you will do the rest? It's not a partnership. It's just a scam. So if you do not know all these guidelines, how to act with the partner, it's not the best one, unless this partner can bring something super hugely valuable, and he also can bring super hugely valuable to the business right now, and just to give it a try. But it still have a lot of risks, because once again, partnerships, it's like a marriage, and if you do not know the person, it could be very risky and very tricky at the end of the day. So that's why you should be very careful in terms of finding the partner. Just ask yourself, why do you need the partner? Is this because you do not know how to do the sales? So then, okay, the problem is sales. Then who is doing the sales in gaming industry? Find those people, purchase a consultation with them, or just like find them through the network and ask for an advice or something like that. Then you would be able to grab more valuable information, and this won't be a terra incognita for you. Then the path will become clear. That's why you will get a better understanding what you or your potential employee or contractor should do. So do not rely on partners. Partners, it's like a it should be an ultimate weapon. You know, like when you're playing video games, if you found some kind of like incredible sword, which is, it's like a wow, I'm just like a level 2 and this sword is like level 15 and I can wear it and it will destroy all enemies. This is the best way for partnership. But standard partnership looks like you're level 7, you're finding the software developer and he just giving you a sword of level 3, and you're like, thank you very much for this amazing opportunity. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. So think twice and make a retrospective of your problem, of what you're trying to solve. And a lot of people can give you an advice. You can purchase consultations, or you can just hire a professional in your niche and in your industry to solve your specific problem. This is the best way. On top of that, you will be in charge of your business. You will be in control of your business, because if you're not controlling everything what you're doing, you're putting yourself into the position of like, oh, I'm not a decision maker, maybe my partner will make a decision, and so on and so forth. It's never work like that. You have to be the decision maker always, because your success and your failures, it's your responsibility. and you have to be responsible for everything that's going on with you and your business. This is the best way for you to run the business. Otherwise, you would be just like a regular guy who's just trying to avoid the responsibility. Okay. Next question. By the way, this is not related to our topic, but it's very interesting question. How much for MLM website? I do not know how to answer those questions. By the way, with all respect, because what kind of website? What functionality should be inside the website? Should it be like a standard WordPress with plugins, or it should be a custom solution? What is your budget? Who's your target audience? How are you planning to use this website? Do you have an experience to be involved into the product development and proper testing to receive at the end of the day what you really need? Because no one can grab your imagination and turn it into reality, unfortunately. So this is a super tricky question. Always, it's like how much for Uber, how much for Airbnb, you name it. It doesn't work like that. Sorry. You have to provide a lot of different information if you want a proper answer. But I would rather say that you should have a strong background in this niche or in this area to request those kind of websites, because you can just spend X amount of dollars and receive nothing at the end of the day. So it's more important what kind of problem you're trying to solve, for who, and so on and so forth. Okay, next question. I want to build a no code in the legit industry, but not in ordinary legal tech, something related to marketing. That's good direction, but I'm not sure that the no code would be the best solution for you. You can how to say that? I'm always between this like position where I do not want to destroy people's dreams because of the reality, but I just want to motivate them move into the proper direction, a different direction, more complicated direction, but more right direction. And this is always drives me crazy. It's like I have to find the balance. No code tool, it's very, very limited tool. Even if you'll take a look how much receiving like Bubble.io, Flutter Flow, they can raise $80 million, whatever. But the problems will start when you will try to build something legit. First problem, it's a lot of issues with spaghetti code, because just download the code and see what's going on in the background, and you will be surprised what kind of mess is out there. It's like developers creating with their code black voodoo magic sometimes, and it works because it works. It's like thanks God it works. But in no code tools, it's even worse. It's something like that's like why this simple request to the database taking 15 seconds and so on. Yes, Vlad, you can use custom code, but then I'd like to ask you a question. Then why do you need no-code tools? Just to build a wrapper? Seriously, you can hire a developer who can do the same for a $500 or like a $2,000. then why you just need a no-code tool for that? If you know that you will still have to write a code for your specific tool, your specific solution. And that this is where we coming to the most important thing. It's like, what is the reason? You will still write the code, pure code, from scratch inside this thing. But this wrapper could have a lot of poison pills inside. It's not a poison pills, but it's just a metaphor for you to understand, which you have to deal with if you will use that. Once again, it's very, very limited tool for very, very limited solutions. It's so you just have to see the reality, how it works. If you need a landing page, great. But if you need to create a solution with the flow, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. It's better for you to cut the functionality of what you're trying to build and prepare a proper requirements for your development team. It's much better, honestly. Then you can be direct, go straight to the point of what you're trying to achieve, and receive a good quality solution. Because once again, no code, you can spend the same amount of time and get nothing in the end of the day. Maybe I will even make the video about issues with the no code. I don't want to, once again, this is the biggest issue. I do not want to kill people motivation when they find something about no code. But at the same time, I want to give them motivation about that you can do the same things, maybe with a little bit more complicated way with standard code, but still you can do that. You just have to just a little bit switch direction and everything will work. But it's not so simple as it's shown by many other people. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this live stream. It's been a long time since we talked. It was a great pleasure to see you today. Hoping the next live stream would be in 2 weeks or something like that. So feel free to ask your questions on YouTube, Telegram, Twitter, whatever. And have a great and wonderful day. And see you next time, guys. Take care.